Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Weekman, and my goodness, this will be the first time and the only time I'll be able to say the people I have on the show are named Mike Jones. Mike Jones, Mike Jones. I'm done. Show's over.
And which one's Big Mike and which one's Little Mike?
They will have to decide themselves. But if you're driving down the road and your car's leaning to the right, I'm saying Big Mike Jones is on the outside. That's pretty cool, man. I tell you what, I've been fishing in Mississippi, and I wanted to have you on the show actually when we were down there this spring.
Yeah.
And somehow you slipped out, and we weren't able to get you. But now you are pinned in between Big Mike and myself, so you have to stay. You can't leave until we're done with you.
For just a moment.
For just a moment. Mike, tell them who you work for.
Yeah, I work for the State Tourism Office, Visit Mississippi, and I'm responsible for all the outdoor marketing for the State Tourism Office.
Oh, excellent.
Which includes all the great fishing.
Yeah, that's what we're getting into here in a second. And Big Mike, tell them who you are and who you're with.
Governor Big Mike Jones from Lake Washington at baiting Thangs, and y'all gave me that title, Governor. From Lake Washington down here, the number 2 crappie lake in the United States, baiting Thangs bait shop. I'm proud to be here.
There you go. So, Mike.
You think he could say baiting things a couple more times in that?
Baiting Thangs.
I expect you to say Mississippi tourism a whole bunch too. So it's going to be a battle. I'll keep track who says what longer. But the thing is, you have a crappie trail, and that's really what we're trying to dive into. We want to know more about this crappie trail and how they can go and see more, like what it is, you know. So tell us about it.
Yeah, what we created, we started with our top 6 lakes with the Mississippi Crappie Trail, and what we wanted to do is try to promote obviously the fishing at those lakes and how great they are, but also try to capture what else they can do,
right?
Around those lakes. It has the information of places to stay around,
right?
Places to go eat, but it also has the resources that people that are coming there to fish, bait shops, guides, places to go get non-ethanol gas in the area. So hotels that have plug-ins and hookups for boats.
Oh, that is nice.
So, it's going to give you that information that somebody wanting to come fish Mississippi can really get it all in one place. It has a trip planner. You can plan your whole trip on the website.
Right. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So one of the lakes is Lake Washington, and, of course, you'll have to say it, Baiting Thangs.
Baiting Thangs is on Lake Washington.
So, Mike, tell them about Lake Washington. What do you have for facilities there?
Well, we've got Baiting Thangs has Southern Star RV Park and campgrounds and cabins. We've got cabins. We've got sites for RVs, nightly, yearly, or monthly rentals. Then down the road, we've got Roy's Store, which has also got cabins and RV sites. Roy's Store does breakfast. They have ethanol-free gas.
Gotcha.
And then down in Glen Allen, on 436, we've got the bumper-to-bumper station down there. They also have ethanol-free gas and propane. Both of them have propane, matter of fact. But there's lodging, several B&Bs around the lake.
Okay.
And then, when people call in, like we've got a big event coming up the 23rd of this month, and there's going to be 100-plus boats there, and folks called in and they said, well, look, we can't find a place. What I take pride in doing is I get on the phone and I'll call Leroy Percy State Park, or I'll call the Lollipop in Hollandale, Belmont Plantation, Esperanza Outdoors, everywhere I can go to that I know people have lodging, and I'll find them a place. And if all else fails, then we go into Greenville, and which is about 25 miles away, and we start taking on hotels from there.
So big. So he talked about lodging and stuff. That's because of the tournament trails. You have some tournament trails that run through. Mm-hmm. I feel like I need to say Crappie Trail all the time here, but you have crappie circuits that come through some of those reservoirs there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, they're hitting our biggest lakes that are included on this Mississippi Crappie Trail.
Right.
So, but yeah, hopefully that these tournament groups that are coming through
Right.
will also use this website, to plan their stays and plan their trips.
Right.
It's like he was saying that people coming through bait shops and places to stay
Right.
sometimes can be hard to find, but there's somebody around these lakes that can help everybody.
I gotcha. So, Mike, you have a tackle store. What's the name of it?
Bait and Thangs bait shop. We're in the top 10 bait shops in the United States.
Is that right?
We do. We carry Pico lures, and we got ACC crappie sticks. We've got Ozark rods, and a whole slew of other,
Right.
hand-tied jigs and all. We've got minnows. We got worms.
Yep.
We've got crickets, and our bait's guaranteed to catch fish or die trying.
So, do you happen to know what's the biggest crappie that was caught out of a Mississippi lake? Do you know what it is?
I can tell you the biggest
can?
one in Lake Washington.
All right,
The
well, we'll
biggest-
take Lake Washington. He's going to figure out which one it is for the state of Mississippi.
All right. The biggest crappie to date in a tournament. That's the key word.
Right.
The biggest crappie to date in a tournament on Lake Washington is 378. Chris Hemphill caught that fish in the Magnolia Crappie tournament. I think it was back in 2012.
Wow.
And, there's been 4-pounders and 5-pounders come out of the lake. But the biggest one in a tournament is that 378 today.
Yep, out of Lake Washington. And do you know what the state record one weighed?
Think it's a black 5.3. Isn't that
Black
the
5.3.
oh
my
state-
gosh.
I think so. If I had a digest here, I could tell you.
And that
That
came
is
out
a
of
giant.
Enid Lake.
Which one?
Enid.
Yep. So if you were to kind of divide your trail as it goes to this state, there's more reservoirs towards the top of Mississippi going down. Is that how it would lay out? So if people were coming, you probably have a lot of people come from that Illinois and Kentucky and Arkansas region.
Yeah.
So
If you're coming down out of, say, through Memphis, you'd start
Right.
up at Arca Butler and come all the way down 55,
Okay.
really to central Mississippi to Ross Barnett, and then you have Lake Washington.
okay,
But they're all from central north.
I gotcha. Central north. So that puts them pretty close. Like actually puts them like a driving distance to getting down.
Yes.
Lakes Arca Butler would be, and Barnett, Ross Barnett would be your furthest distance from from the first lake to the from the first lake coming into the state to the last one leaving the state. That would be your furthest distance. So what's that? 6 hours probably.
Oh no, 3-hour drive from Arca Butler down to Jackson.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
so
what
not
I'm thinking.
that's not far at
Yeah.
all. It's
it'd
all
be
flat.
another
down
3
there.
hours, you'd be on the coast.
That's right. So 3 hours from Arca Butler to
The southernmost at Barnett.
and then we're about 2 to 2.5 hours
Right.
from Lake Washington to the top 4
Right.
or to Ross Barnett. So
And tell them the top 4. What does that mean?
well, it's the top 6 is what it is. But
Oh, okay.
Grenada's number 1,
All right.
Washington's number 2, Enid's number 3,
All right.
Stardust is number 4, Arca Butler's number 5, and Ross Barnett comes in at number 6.
Okay. And you're agreeing with that?
Yes,
It's your trail.
I
So
agree.
you can agree.
Yeah.
I love that. The app. Let's talk a little bit more about that app because it sounds like that's you just go in your pocket and grab your phone and you can, you'll be able to dial some stuff up. Real friendly, is it?
Yeah, it's,
How do you get the app?
Well, you can go and
Google
download it
Store?
off of just go to the store. It's on Android and
Okay. Yep. That's
and
good to know.
you can download them both, and we've got it where it works off the website and mobile.
Oh, all right.
So
That's
you can
pretty
carry it
cool.
with you and plan on the way.
Right. Yep. So that's good. Is there other tidbits that are on the apps that might be helpful to know?
Yeah, there's an events calendar. So if you're traveling, say to Lake Washington, you want to know what's going on in the area,
Right.
you can go to the events calendar and it'll tell you what's going on in the lake and the
Right.
surrounding community. If there's any festivals or anything that's going on, you can
Gotcha.
see.
Is Lake Washington your favorite lake?
That is mine.
He can't say. I know he can't say. That's why I asked it.
My favorite lake is the Mississippi Crappie Trail.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. He got out of that one this time. some way. But Lake Washington, we actually had a writers event there and had a bunch of guys come down and all kinds of great outdoor writers and photographers, TV crews, and so there's going to be another event there coming up this spring. What's the dates on that, Mike?
February 22nd through the 24th is the Writers Camp.
Uh-huh.
My 20th year for the Big Mama Crappie Tournament will be March the 5th.
March
And
5th.
then right behind that
March
one,
5th.
the next week will be my Fruit Jar Series that has been going on now for about 4 or 5 years. It'd be the next weekend. I don't remember the date of it. But we're scheduling more and more tournaments. Big news I want everybody to know about, ACT Crappie Club will be on Lake Washington May 13th and 14th.
Oh, all right.
So you guys that are wanting to get lodging, y'all better hurry up and come on and get your cabins and all lined out because that's going to go fast.
That's what's great about this calendar of events. You can go onto the website or the app and find out when those tournaments are. We're trying to keep all of those trails that are coming through fishing, whether it's Magnolia Crappie or the others, and have them listed on those lakes so people can keep updated with that.
Right, and I kind of feel bad because we're in breakaway just a second from the crappie fishing. Tell them you have all the game fish that you have in Mississippi. You have all the big ones. You have bass, you have all those, but if someone wants to find out more than just that, is there like a website that
they can go to just visitmississippi.org.
Okay. All right, so there's a separate, like a separate thing for them to go to.
Yeah, they can get, because the Crappie Trail obviously is kind of focused just on the crappie, and hopefully we can expand that out to other species.
Right.
We'd even love to be able to get it expanded out, and a lot of people don't realize, but there's a lot of great saltwater fishing in Mississippi as well. Yep. So we hopefully we can expand that later, but they can get information on the lakes and charters down on the coast and all that through visitmississippi.org. What's
your favorite way to eat crappie? What's your favorite recipe? Is it fried or are you a baked guy?
It's grilled. It's a jalapeno lime.
Ooh, sounds good. Is it your own recipe or is it?
Well, I actually got it from someone else, but it's certain. I forget the main ingredients. So you have some oils and you put the crushed. I use pickled jalapenos.
Right.
Chop them all up really fine. It's got a lot of spices and all, and you cover the fish fillets.
Right.
Put it in the refrigerator. I usually do it overnight. Pull the fish out, grill those, and then while they're on the grill, you cook the marinade down into a paste.
Right.
And you put the fish on the plate, cover with the paste. It's fantastic.
Okay, well, we're stopping the show because I'm hungry, and we have to go get something to eat. And so, Mike, doesn't look like there isn't a kind of fish you don't like to eat any style.
Hey, man, you can look at me and tell I eat everything. I like crappie, I like catfish, I like bass.
Yep. And there's Lake Washington is loaded with fish.
It is.
I mean, it's loaded with fish. And one thing that I noticed when we were there in the spring was the anglers that were there. And there was a lot of anglers. It kept being more and more anglers every day they're there. But they actually, they gave respect to the other boats that were in the area. Mm-hmm. So as they were fishing, everyone kept their distance. And it was actually pretty nice that even though they were fishing in a tighter area that, they basically comes down to sportsmanship and
respectful of others' fish.
Yeah, and it was just that way. And I know we ate at Doe's. Don't want to be a name dropper, but everyone knows Doe's is there.
Doe's Eat Place.
Woo, my goodness, that was good. But we ate at some other places, fantastic places.
Highway 1 restaurant where we had the banquet there. We ate there, and then Cajun Shotgun Barbecue, we ate there. Miss Ann's, we ate there at Swiftwater Be Quick. Of course, there was some eating at Roy's store, so there's lots of places.
A lot of good food.
Bread pudding, and here's the
river.
Across the river. I have to give a little plug to them because my wife loved that. I took home bread pudding all the way 5 hours across the state of Arkansas, just so my wife can eat bread pudding. That's unbelievable. You guys got such good food.
Yeah. And that's
shrimp, right? is
Oh, yeah.
not. Don't you guys have
Fresh
just,
shrimp out of the coast.
every meal that I think I ate that one trip I came down had to do with shrimp salad, shrimp. There was shrimp on it. It didn't matter. It was a pretty good deal. But
Yeah, it's you get all the seafood off the coast fresh.
Right.
And we've got locals down there now that are farming oysters, which
oh,
are fantastic.
wow, that does.
I
sound
didn't know
good.
that.
Maybe
Really?
we need to get a sack to bring up.
A
There you
sack.
go.
To think
Bring up
about.
to
There you
the
go.
thing. There you go.
There you go.
That sounds good. So you talked about dates of your tournament there, so we have it covered.
Well, you were talking about with Mike the different species of fish
Right.
and all.
Yep.
There's one thing that we haven't mentioned, which is getting to be really big,
Right.
and Lake Washington is the only place to knowledge right now that this is taking place.
What's that?
Lake Washington is known as the snake grabbing capital of the world.
Oh, all right.
Grab you
Interested?
grab you one outfitters
Yeah, I
comes there, and the first weekend of June is always the snake grabbing rodeo,
Right.
and everything around the lake will be booked up. There'll be 400 to 600 people coming from all over the state and outside the states that come in there and participate in the snake grabbing. We even had Living the Dream Outdoors TV show come here from up in Missouri this year
Right.
and participate. They went hand grabbing catfish and then went and hand grabbed some snakes
Yeah.
and made a TV show out of it. And it's great.
Yeah.
We know how to have fun.
There you go. If it crawls, slithers, or swims, it gets eaten in Mississippi. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
Pretty close.
Pretty much.
Pretty close. Well, on that note, that takes us to Tackle Time. Tackle Time is sponsored by Pico Lures and also Smith Consumer Products. Pico Lures has a full line of crankbaits, hard baits, soft baits. They have bass jig heads. They got crappie jig heads. They got a full line of that stuff. And so if it's a game fish and you're trying to catch it, you can find your products there at picolures.com. That's where it's located at. Mike has some in his store. And the other sponsor, of course, is Smith Consumer Products. And I brought this hook sharpener, knife sharpener, basically. And it's Arkansas stone. They do such a great job. And they have so many different products that you can find everything from, they got pocket knives. They got just everything you can imagine from hunting to fishing. If you need it, they probably have an accessory product along with the Mr. Crappie fillet knives, and you can find them there. So if you look them up online, you'll look at smithproducts.com.
Great quality products too.
Yep, absolutely. They have some stainless products, which would be good going to the coast there. So
I'll tell you what. That
Yep.
bone handle steak knife set that they got is awesome. I've used
Yep.
it a couple of times, and
yeah.
man, that joker, you carve a steak up quick.
There you go. So, Mike, if they wanted to check out more about your tackle store and your lodging, where would they go?
Go to Baiting Thangs on Facebook or Baiting Thangs at I believe it's .com on the internet and all.
Okay.
We actually have a new website
All right.
and everything. Or all else fails, give me a call 662-822-2087, and I'll get you hooked up with. If you need a guide, you need a full blown trip. If you're a veteran and you're needing, handicap accessible or what have you, we can make it happen. All you got to do is tell me what you want and how you want to do it and when you want to come, and I'll take care of the rest.
All right. Sounds good. Mike, if they want to find out more, of course, we're going to let you plug the app one more time and the website, because I know this is just fascinating that you've taken the time to make it so that it's making it so these anglers can go down there and find stuff quick.
Yeah, and it's MississippiCrappieTrail.com. You can find it on all the social media platforms, website, and then you can go and download the app as well to use it mobile.
All right. Well, that works. That pretty much takes us to the end of the show, where I always like to remind people to keep their hooks sharp and their lures in the water.